Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and super fun movie that just dropped on the big screens tonight. See this movie on the biggest screen possible, you will not regret it. Meg 2, The Trench. I just got back from a screening of it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Want to share my spoiler-filled film review with you guys. So if you haven't seen Meg 2 The Trench yet and you plan to see it tomorrow night or some point this weekend, you do not want to keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. So let's jump right into it, or dive right into it, so to speak. You know, I basically got the biggest mark checked off in my box of my expectations of this movie, which is I wanted it to be bigger, better, more creatures, more shark action, and I got exactly all those things. But my biggest box that I wanted to have checked off, I did get marked, which was I wanted to see a cool underwater fight between the giant octopus and at least one of the megalodons, and we got exactly that. Towards the end of the film, after all the bad guys are defeated and gobbled up, you know, the last remaining threat besides the three sharks is the giant octopus as well. And of course, it's up to the domesticated Meg to swim in and save the day and num num on the octopus in a cool underwater fight, which is a little short but very exciting and definitely keeps your interest. And you know, that was of all things I wanted to see in the movie. For me personally, I got exactly what I wanted, so I'm very, very pleased and happy with that. I was hoping, excuse me, I was hoping we get an underwater fight between these two creatures, because the trailer alone showed not only octopus tentacles but the three sharks doing shit underwater. I'm like, there has got to be a fight here in this film at some point between these two beasts. And sure enough, there was, and I was very, very satisfied with it. Overall, it was a fun, entertaining, exciting movie. You know, I was a little afraid that the human villain element would distract or take away from the shark action in the film, but there was actually a very healthy amount of shark attacks and shark action in this movie that it balanced out nicely with the human villain stuff, which was also just as interesting, seeing all of our characters go up against mercenaries and bad guys who are trying to illegally mine deep underwater and pillaging the earth of raw, rare minerals and whatnot, just to make a few billion and whatnot. And then they got to contend with the predators they encounter. I love those lizard things that could breathe on land and swim underwater. Those things were an unexpected treat and a big highlight of the movie for me, because they just, you know, enhanced and they just heightened the stakes, not enhanced, heightened the stakes of the film. You got predators on the water, you got predators on land, and it just made the things all that more exciting and much more interesting and fun and just downright entertaining for that very fact alone. So I was quite pleased and happy with this movie. It pretty much lived up to my expectations, and it was great seeing like Jonas and Mac again, and oh my god, DJ was so funny in this movie. Granted, he was really funny in the first Meg, but this movie, this guy came back prepared, trained, and ready for this exact situation to occur and for this scenario to play out again. And sure enough, he was prepared and he was ready to kick ass, and it was awesome and hilarious. So I loved that. The only thing I didn't like about this movie is that they seemingly killed off the actress who was Maylin's mother from the first film. Like, the little girl came back as a teenager, which was awesome because she was funny and awesome in the first film, and she was funny and awesome in this movie, but they killed off the mother with that little in memoriam thing they did at the Ocean Foundation presentation. I was like, did you have to kill her off? Just have a line of dialogue explaining why she can't be here. But apparently they killed her off screen, which was really sad to me, because I was hoping that actress could someday return for another Meg movie, but I guess she's done with the franchise. I don't know what the story is with that, but that's the one thing I didn't like. But beyond that, everything else I absolutely enjoyed. And I think I'm going to try to see this on Saturday to beat the heat, rather than stay home and run up my electric bill with my AC running. I think I'm going to retreat to the movies and check out this movie again, because boy, was it a lot of fun. And I saw it on the Dolby screen, which was like one of the biggest screens ever, and that alone was worth the ticket price, because I was like, yes, this is so huge. Everything is such on a big epic scale in terms of the creatures, the action, the underwater world, the vastness of the trench. It was just so much fun, and I really enjoyed this movie. I might have to add a hard copy of it to my DVD and Blu-ray library over here. So I really enjoyed this film. I was a little worried that the human villain stuff would take away from the big underwater creature stuff. It didn't. In fact, it paired and balanced out quite nicely for the most part. So I'm really happy about that. And overall, I was very satisfied, very happy with this particular movie. And I plan to see it on the big screen at least 2 or 3 more times, because I enjoyed it that much. So that is my review. 2 thumbs up. Go see this movie. There's no stinger or post-credit scene, but hopefully there's more stories left to tell with these giant creatures. So fingers crossed for that. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this movie as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings down below in the comments section. Thanks again for watching. Meg 2, The Trench, is now playing in theaters. Check your local listings for tickets and times. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thanks again for watching. And of course, until next time, may the force be with you.